Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at theDove.us. Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and as you know, our legislature is now currently involved in a special session, and this is their first special session after they made it a legal special session, and they're up there for about 5 weeks. It's supposed to be kind of like a mid-course correction, but it ends up being a full-blown session with all kinds of issues on the table. So today we're honored to Skype in from the Capitol Representative Sal Esquivel from Medford. He's a Republican from Medford, to kind of get an update what's going on up there. Mr. Representative, good to see you, sir.
How are we doing today, Perry?
Good, man. Good to see you. Well, your first quick synopsis, how's it going?
Well, it's what I anticipated when we voted in annual sessions. It's too much monkey business and not enough to the business. And what I mean by that is that this should have been restricted solely to the budgetary tweaks that need to be done, which would have taken us 1 to 2, maybe 3 days at the most. And now we're getting into some large policy issues that should not be on the table. We're getting into gut and stuffs. There was 157, I believe, bills just in the House alone.
Whoa. All right. So let's get an update on a few of these. What happened to the Veterans Bill? I understand they got voted down, huh?
That was probably the most emotional thing we had in veterans for a number of years. And what it was is we had House Bill 4023, I believe it was, and the Democratic leadership here killed the bill. And let me tell you what the bill amounted to. It amounted to telling the lottery to do a scratch game, and it would be a veterans-only scratch game. So it'd be geared toward veterans, and all the proceeds, which should be about $1.1 million, would go to help get back our service officers in universities and colleges, and as well as community colleges. But the Democratic leadership killed that, and it was either the governor and or the speaker or both. They killed that bill, so we got and stuffed it and sent it back out. But let me give you a perspective of what that did. At $1.1 million meant a lot to the veterans, because they would have a veteran service officer on the campus to tell them about their benefits.
Right.
Now, that's out of $1.1 billion revenue. Very minimal. Would not have hurt anything, but the leadership decided not to help veterans out. And it's just a crying shame. But we got and stuffed it. And hopefully we'll get on the Senate side and be able to reintroduce back into the bill the proper wordage to get that back for veterans.
What was their main reason for stuffing it, Sal? I mean, what was
the reason they said was, we had to stuff it because if we had gone along and passed it out, even though the committee considered that, including the Democrats on the committee, of taking that bill out as it was and send it out to the floor, it would have to have gone to Ways and Means, and if it went to Ways and Means, it would die. So therefore, we got and stuffed it with some stuff that was just awful, but at least it didn't have a fiscal on it, so therefore it can go to the floor, and next it will go back over to the Senate. So we bypassed Ways and Means.
All right, let's go over to Cover Oregon. As you know now, Congressman Walden has called for an investigation. Has that resonated at all up there during this special session?
Hasn't been much talk about that one iota, one way or the other. I think the people that talk about it the most are probably the Republicans, because we're very proud of Greg, and we're very proud of Dennis Richardson for being there and calling for this. Dennis tried to tell him a year ago or more that this will not work, and of course there's been maybe some irregularities. We're not sure, but the only way we find out is to get someone to take a good hard look at it and find out if there were irregularities.
Is there any call for any oversight on this mess?
Yeah, they had it was almost a laughable bill, and it was, what was that House bill? It was one I voted no on it, and it was House Bill 4122, I think is what it was. And that bill hired a contractor to oversee the contractor to oversee the contractor, but no one's overseeing No, no one's overseeing the department, nor is anyone overseeing the policies of the department.
The Fox Walk.
It's just gee, let's give ourselves some cover, do a dog and pony show for the public, and we'll say, well, you know, we had oversight.
Boy, you guys gave new meaning to Fox in the Hen House there. All right, let's move on. What's going on with the communities that don't want the marijuana dispensaries? Do you think that's going to go anywhere?
I think it probably will pass. It appears it passed out of the Senate unanimously that our communities cannot restrict that, and I think that's deplorable.
So.
I think Medford should, if they want to, they should be able to say yay or nay on a business license. They can't prohibit it with this bill.
Wow. What's happening with the gun bill?
Well, the gun bill's DOA, and I knew it would be. We have a National Sportsman's Caucus for state legislators in this state, and we're up to, I think, 41 or 42 members now out of 90. And that's Democrats and Republicans, and we're very adamant about a restriction of the Second Amendment. This particular gun bill didn't restrict the Second Amendment, but it did inhibit people, law-abiding people, because what it did is extended background checks. Like, you and I are friends, so I want to sell you a gun, or you want to sell me a gun, so we have to go through a background check in order to do that. Or we could be maybe a grandfather and a great-grandson or something like that. You still have to go through it because they had just the immediate family that was eligible to take and give the weapon or sell the weapon to someone within the immediate family, and you didn't have to have the check. But the problem I see there is that you think that the criminal on the street's going to go through a background check when they buy it?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I know some of this.
Let's use our head here, folks.
Yeah, well, what's the old saying? If logic doesn't work, don't use it.
Well, yeah. that's pretty good. I like that. I like the other one too. Common sense is common. Why is it so uncommon in this place?
Yeah, if it doesn't work, don't use it. All right. So, do you see anything that could bump our tax bill out there?
Bump our tax bill?
Yeah.
I don't see anything that's coming down the tube that will do that.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything yet. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be coming around. Yeah. I've also heard through the grapevine, through the jungle drums, that the nurseries, I believe it is, well, maybe it's not the nurseries, I don't know who it is, but someone's behind a push to change the wording of the title on the licensing of illegals that we're doing as a ballot measure.
Really?
They didn't like the Attorney General. They didn't like the pro and the con that we had, and I think it's deplorable that the arrogance of this institution would go and say, okay, we're going to change this just because we can.
Wow.
And they're going to slant that, so it'll try, in my opinion, it'll probably try to confuse people.
Wow. Well, so what do you think this session is going to be noted for? I mean, what is there any mid-course correcting going on, or has everybody got their own pet bills they want to get through?
Well, I see that they have a bill in to change the number of days. They want to go from 35 to 45 days on this session. They want to lop off 10 days off the odd number year session. And I'll be honest with you, I think this session will go down as something we need to look at on changing back the Constitution and not allowing annual sessions. We could have come in this building. There's nothing that we have done thus far, or passed or not passed, that could not have waited until next year. We are not in a position. We have yet to do a budget bill, a budget tweak. Wow. So if we haven't done that, and that was the original intent, then we sold a bill of goods to the public, whomever advocated for this, sold a bill of goods to the public saying that we need to have these annual sessions. And I disagree with that. I think that you could come in on a special session, be in and out 1 or 2 days at the maximum, tweak the budget and go home, instead of having all this policy stuff coming up in such a short period of time. And some of these are very complex issues, and we should not be approaching them at this time.
What's your party leadership saying about the upcoming election? Do you see the House turning back? You guys going to pick up some seats? How does it look for the Senate? What's your feel?
Well, I think we have a very good chance in the Senate, and I think we're going to pick up some seats in the House. That's my opinion. I think Dennis Richardson's going to do well as governor in the governor race. I think that it's time, and the key to this whole thing, Perry, is getting out the vote on the Republican side.
Right.
1 in 5 Republicans sit home and do not vote.
Right.
And when they don't vote, they're giving that vote to the Democrats.
Right. Yeah, we're going to do a real push among churches this coming month to help people understand it's totally legal for them to do voter registration. Let's get people back voting. So.
Well, I agree 100%. And not only that, not only registration, but also the people that are registered need to get out and vote. They need to turn out. Just in the next year, let's just turn out.
Okay. Well, Sal, thanks again for your service up there and the long hours you guys putting in. You're a champion. Hang in there, pal, and let's check in again before it's all over, okay?
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, see you. Sal Esquivel, Representative Sal Esquivel, live from the state capitol this morning. All right, we'll be right back.